too sensitive, too much, bad at relationships. But the truth was, I wasn't reacting to what was happening at the time. I was reacting to everything that had happened before. I would overthink everything. A late reply, I felt it in my chest. A slight change in tone, even on a text message, and my whole mood would shift. I'd become preoccupied. Start thinking about what could possibly be going on. The worst part was I knew I was overreacting, but knowing didn't stop it. I couldn't stop it. It was like my body was living in a different reality to my logical mind. When you grow up in an environment where things feel unstable, you learn to read between the lines. That's survival. You learn that love can disappear, that moods can change, that safety isn't guaranteed, and you learn to adapt. You become hyper aware, hyper vigilant, really, attuned to what's going on around you, other people's moods, the look on someone's face, the energy in the room, always scanning. And you're not doing this to be dramatic, you're doing it because it's necessary. So fast forward to adulthood, and suddenly you're in a relationship, and instead of just being in it, you're analysing, you're predicting, you're preparing for things to go wrong. And that might mean that you hold on too tightly, or you push people away before they can leave. And while you're craving that closeness, you can also feel overwhelmed when you get it. And it's really confusing because part of you wants that love, but another part of you doesn't trust it. And I suppose the thing that I've learned as I've gone through life is that just because something feels familiar doesn't mean it's safe. And in fact, it often means that it really isn't safe if it feels familiar. Those butterfly feelings that you get, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's a good thing. It can feel like your guts are churning, actually. Chaos might feel like connection. Inconsistency might feel like passion, because calm, peaceful love might feel boring, unnatural, uncomfortable, suspicious. I kept getting pulled toward people who felt like home, not realising that home actually was where I first learned to feel unsafe. Your body remembers what your mind tries to forget, and there's some great books out there. The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk is probably the book to read, all about how trauma sort of rests in the body, and we can do all sorts of things to distract and try to forget, but the body holds the score. So you might find yourself in a situation and you start shaking, your heart starts racing. That's your body remembering what the mind is trying not to. So when something small happens, like somebody in a relationship starts pulling away slightly, or you just sense that, your nervous system doesn't see small, it sees a pattern, it reacts, the fire alarm goes off. And we'll talk about the fire alarm going off in other videos, I'm sure. But if you imagine you've got a really oversensitive fire alarm, and that's there to save your life, right? It's there to keep you safe. Brilliant. We all need one. Definitely keep you safe. But it also goes off when the toast is burning, right? It's overreactive. Your amygdala, which is a little peanut-sized shaped thing in the middle of the brain, that kicks into action when it sees a threat, but sometimes it's like a little overactive, misguided superhero. And that's what detects the pattern. That's what reacts like it's all happening over again, and it feels so intense. So it's not just in your head. You're not just making this up because, that's what you like. It's in your body. It's well mapped. It's a well-trodden pathway, or several, in your brain. So for a long time, I blamed myself. I thought I'm the problem. I ruin everything. I just need to be better, more grown up. But the truth is, I wasn't ever broken. I was patterned. And things started to change for me when I stopped asking what's wrong with me and started asking what's happened to me. What happened to me that made this feel normal? What happened to me that made me almost chase this without ever realizing that's what I was doing? And that question changed everything, because it turns shame into understanding. It turns shame, guilt into self-compassion, and it's slow. It is slow, but it's pivotal. It's like looking back at all the things that you've experienced in your life and thinking, do you know what? I've survived all of those, and actually some of the things that I've had to do to survive those things have maybe become maladaptive. Maybe they're not so helpful anymore. But we need to be more compassionate towards ourselves and understanding ourselves and understanding that these are the things we learned to keep us safe. That's the first step. So if you see yourself in this, you're definitely not alone, and you're not too much. You just learn to survive in an environment that requires you to be this way for whatever reason. And the goal now is to learn that you don't have to survive anymore. You're an adult and you have choices. And that might feel scary, actually, and it might feel really unfamiliar. It probably does feel really unfamiliar. But familiar isn't always safe. Safe might feel unfamiliar at first.